The Captive Dove by Bronte, 1820 to 1849. Poor restless dove, I pity thee, and when I hear thy plaintive moan, I mourn for thy captivity, and in thy woes forget mine own. To see thee stand prepared to fly, and flap those useless wings of thine, and gaze into the distant sky, would melt a harder heart than mine. In vain thou canst not rise, thy prison roof confines thee there. Its slender wires delude thine eyes, and quench thy longings with despair. O thou wert made to wander free in sunny mead and shady grove, and far beyond the rolling sea in distant climes at will to rove. Yet hadst thou but one gentle mate, thy little drooping heart to cheer, and share with thee thy captive state, thou couldst be happy even there. Yes, even there, if listening by one faithful dear companion stood, while gazing on her full bright eye, thou mightst forget thy native wood. But thou, poor solitary dove, must make unheard thy joyless moan. The heart that nature formed to love must pine, neglected and alone. Okay, this is a poem by Bronte. Bronte was the youngest of the Bronte sisters. We got Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte, and Anne Bronte. She's the least well known. She was a poet and an author. She was brought up in West Yorkshire, in a village near to Bradford. Sadly, as you see, she died at the age of 29, probably of tuberculosis. All of the Bronte sisters died early. It's a sad thing. She's probably best known for her novel Agnes Grey, or The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. So what's this poem about? Well, this poem is about a dove in a cage. And the poem is talking about captivity and the longing to be free, desiring to be free. And there is this dove which is in a cage, in a prison, and the dove wants to be free, and this poem is showing the natural instinct of the dove to fly and to go, but it's unable to. And then the poem also talks about companion, about love overcoming problems, overcoming adversity. Although I personally think that this poem, it's talking about the idea of love and companionship, and human society, or the position of women at that time. Because a girl, until she was married, had stayed at home. She had to stay at home. Things are different nowadays. And that was perhaps one form of captivity. And if she got married, then she became the possession of her husband. She was then in the captivity of her husband's house. But at least she's saying that this would be much better, or her captivity would be much better, a woman's captivity would be better, at least if they were loved. Perhaps she's also saying that man is chained to the society that we live in, that we need to work, we need to do various things. We have an instinct to fly, an instinct to roam, an instinct to be free, but in many ways there are invisible chains that hold us back, that we need to comply with society. So let's look at it anyway. The Captive Dove by Bronte. Poor restless dove, I pity thee. So poor dove, you're restless, you're always wanting to move, but I feel really sad for you. When I hear thy plaintive moan, so plaintive is asking. When I hear you moan, asking to be free, I mourn, I'm sad for your captivity. So I'm sad about the fact that you're in captivity. And in thy woes forget mine own. And your sad situation is so bad that it makes me forget my own problems, perhaps my own captivity. To see thee stand prepared to fly, and flap those useless wings of thine. And I see you stand up and you flap your wings and you're ready to fly, and gaze and look into the distant sky, would melt a harder heart than mine. So it's heartbreaking. It melts my heart to see you trying to fly, wanting to go to be free, wanting to fly up into the sky. And this would melt somebody who was less sensitive than I am. In vain, so you try again and again. Notice the repetition. It's saying that the dove repeats this again and again. Thou canst not rise, you can't go up. Thy prison roof confines thee there. The roof of the prison holds you in that place. Its slender wires delude thy eyes. So the wires of the cage, they're thin and you can't see them. And quench thy longings with despair. So I think the choice of this word quench is quite good, because quench is normally talking about satisfy. To you quench your thirst, for example, and to quench longings with despair. So not the longings are. What she's saying here is the longing to be free. It just turns into deeper and deeper and deeper despair. O thou wert made to wander free in sunny mead and shady grove. So you were made to fly free in sunny mead, in sunny meadows, in a shady grove, in a shady area of trees. Notice wert wander, sunny, shady, perhaps as well. And far beyond the rolling sea in distant climes at will to rove. So to rove is to go where you want. So you were designed to fly across the sea, to go to distant places, climes, different places, and to go where you wanted. Now, this is saying that the captivity is against the dove's instinct to roam. Also, the choice of a dove is quite interesting, because a dove is a harmless creature. It's something that doesn't hurt anybody. There's no reason to put a dove in a cage. This is mere possession, ownership, and this to me reflects the idea of ownership of people, that parents own their daughters, and then the husbands own their wives. Yet had thou but one gentle mate, thy little drooping heart to cheer, and share with thee thy captive state, thou couldst be happy even there. But if you had a mate, a pair, somebody to love you, somebody to share the captive state, somebody to share this captivity with, then you could be happy there. So here it's emphasizing the importance of companionship. Companionship overcomes adversity, and this is a dear, a faithful companion. So you could be happy even in your situation. So companionship makes the worst situations bearable. Yes, even there, if listening by, one faithful dear companion stood, while gazing on her full bright eye, thou mightst forget thy native wood. So here she's talking about a companion, not a lover. But she's saying, yes, if there was just one companion standing by you, who you could look upon their eye, you could look at this person, you could be with this person, then you might forget where you came from, you might forget your native state, you might forget being in nature, and the idea of being with somebody, of sharing this captivity. But thou, poor solitary dove, must make unheard thy joyless moan. But you, dove, you're there, you're in the cage, you're alone, you moan for freedom, but nobody hears. The heart that nature formed to love must pine, neglected and alone. So the heart that nature made to love. So here she's saying that love is something that is natural in people. It's a part of nature, loving other people. And this, your heart must pine, must desire to be free. It's neglected, it's alone. So, but sadly, dove, you are going to sit there alone. So it's saying that human beings have a fundamental need to be with people, that we are herd animals, which is perfectly true, and we need connection, we need the support of people. So, The Captive Dove by Bronte.